Have you ever felt that even when everything seems fine on the outside, there's still something inside that hurts? A memory, a word left unspoken, a feeling of abandonment or lack of validation that keeps resurfacing at the most unexpected moments. Sometimes we learn how to function, how to work, how to smile, but we don't really learn how to heal our emotions. And that's where the silent accumulation of emotional pain begins. Maybe you're carrying childhood wounds that were never truly acknowledged. Maybe you experienced some kind of trauma, or grew up hearing that you needed to be stronger, less sensitive, less you. Without even realizing it, you may have developed limiting beliefs that affect your inner security, your relationships, and even your self-love. The truth is, no one really teaches us how to go through a genuine emotional healing process. We just survive the best way we can. But today, I want to show you something different. In this guided meditation for healing emotional wounds, you're going to learn how to use positive affirmations, conscious breathing, and presence to begin a deep process of transformation. This isn't magic. It's not a ready-made formula. It's practice. It's self-awareness. It's a real path toward emotional freedom. And perhaps most importantly, it's possible. So stay with me until the end, because what begins as a simple moment of breathing can become a turning point in your journey of healing the past. You'll learn how to transform pain into inner growth, insecurity into resilience, and guilt into self-compassion. And the question is, are you truly ready to meet yourself? Before any technique, before any affirmation, I want to invite you to simply arrive. Truly arrive. Not just physically, but emotionally. How many times have you started something while your mind was somewhere else? This is different. Here, presence is the starting point. This guided meditation begins with an honest encounter between you and yourself. And in the next step, you'll understand why this intention is so powerful. Maybe your day has been busy. Maybe you're carrying worries, or even an emotional pain you can't quite explain. And that's okay. You don't need to pretend that everything is fine. This is a space of acceptance, not pressure. The healing process begins when we stop judging ourselves for feeling. Yes, feeling is part of inner growth. I like to imagine this moment as coming home after a long day and finally taking off your shoes. That's what we're doing now, but on the inside. We're removing the armor, the defenses, the masks. And for the next few minutes, you don't have to be strong, productive, or perfect. You just have to be here. Now that you've truly arrived, let's talk about intention. Because this isn't just another guided meditation. Today, the purpose is to work with positive affirmations focused on emotional healing and, especially, healing the past. Intention is like the address in your GPS. If you don't define where you want to go, any road will do. Here, we are clear about what we're seeking. Maybe you're carrying childhood wounds. Maybe you've experienced trauma, abandonment, or lack of validation. These experiences shape the way you see yourself and how you relate to the world. And often, without realizing it, you build limiting beliefs that reinforce insecurity, guilt, or that persistent feeling of not being enough. Today's intention is to begin breaking that cycle. But here's something important. Healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about redefining it. It's not about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about giving new meaning to the experience. The affirmations we'll use are tools of self-validation, self-love, and energetic renewal. And in the next step, you'll understand why acknowledging your wounds is an act of courage, not weakness. Now we come to a delicate but deeply liberating part, recognizing your emotional wounds. You can't begin a true healing process by pretending everything is already resolved. Childhood wounds often hide in repeated phrases we heard, in comparisons, in silences, or even in absences. And abandonment isn't always physical. Sometimes it's emotional. Maybe you grew up trying to earn love, trying to prove your worth, constantly seeking external validation. A lack of validation can create deep insecurity, that feeling that you need to do more, be more, give more. And when this becomes a pattern, guilt shows up whenever you rest, whenever you say no, whenever you choose yourself. Recognizing this isn't playing the victim. It's self-awareness. It's looking inward with compassion and saying, okay, this left a mark. Because every ignored emotional pain turns into automatic behavior. And when you begin to see these patterns clearly, something shifts. In the next step, we'll identify how these wounds show up in your daily life, sometimes in very subtle ways. I want to invite you now to observe something practical. How do these wounds appear in your routine today? Emotional pain rarely introduces itself by saying, "Hi, I'm a trauma from your past." It usually comes disguised, sometimes as excessive responsibility, as if you were responsible for everyone's happiness, sometimes as a constant sense of emptiness, even when everything seems to be going well. You might notice defensiveness. Small comments affect you more than they should, or you avoid conflict at all costs. Or perhaps you immerse yourself in overworking so you don't have to deal with deeper feelings. It looks like productivity, but often it's avoidance. And that's not weakness. It's a protection mechanism you learned a long time ago. And here's something essential: body awareness. Your body speaks. Tension in your shoulders, tightness in your chest, constant fatigue. These are signs that something is asking for attention. When you observe these signals with presence, without judgment, you take the first real step toward emotional freedom. And in the next part, we'll create a safe space to feel all of this without fear. Now we arrive at a decisive point in our healing journey: inner transparency. I know this part can feel uncomfortable. Being transparent with yourself means stopping the escape from your own emotions. It means looking at emotional pain without makeup, without distraction, without the automatic phrase, "I'm fine." Sometimes you're not. And admitting that is a profound act of courage. Allowing yourself to feel isn't losing control. It's regaining control with awareness. When you welcome guilt, insecurity, or sadness with compassion, something begins to reorganize inside. It's like opening a window in a room that's been closed for years. At first, dust comes in, but then light enters. And that light doesn't come from outside. It rises from your own self-awareness. Resistance may appear, and that's completely normal. The ego prefers to keep everything the same, even if it hurts. But inner growth requires honesty. This is where you begin transforming pain into a conscious process of change. In the next step, we'll prepare the body, your greatest ally in healing emotions safely and deeply. Now that you've opened this inner space, it's time to involve the body in the healing process. There is no healing of the past that happens only in the mind. The body stores memories, registers trauma, and responds to abandonment and lack of validation with tension, closed posture, and shallow breathing. Preparing the body means preparing the ground for true emotional freedom. Choose a comfortable yet aware position, not collapsed, present. You may sit with your spine upright but not rigid, or lie down while maintaining attention in your body. Notice your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. Often we are contracted without realizing it. This simple adjustment already activates body awareness and sends a message of inner safety to your brain. And here's something powerful: when the body feels safe, the mind begins to relax. When your posture opens, your heart follows. It may seem simple, but this is exactly how transformation begins, by doing the basics well. In the next step, we'll go deeper into conscious breathing, the bridge between mind, body, and emotions. Now we enter the heart of the practice: conscious breathing. It may sound too simple, but don't underestimate the power of something you do all day without noticing. When you bring your breath into your abdomen, you activate a state of real presence. It's not about breathing perfectly. It's about breathing with intention and allowing the air to become a tool for emotional healing. Place one hand on your abdomen and notice the movement. As you inhale, it expands. As you exhale, it gently contracts. No forcing, no competing with yourself. This deep breathing sends a clear signal to your nervous system. It's okay right now. And when the body understands that, insecurity decreases, tension softens, and the mind naturally slows down. If thoughts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply observe and return to the movement of your abdomen. This gentle return is an exercise in self-validation. You got distracted? That's okay. You come back. That's emotional resilience training. Now I want to invite you to look at your emotional wounds differently. This may feel a little uncomfortable at first. What if, instead of seeing your trauma as something that broke you, you began to see it as something that also shaped you? Not to romanticize the pain, but to acknowledge the strength that emerged from it. Every difficult experience carries a seed of inner growth. Childhood wounds, abandonment, lack of validation. All of these left marks, yes. But they also developed invisible skills in you: sensitivity, perception, empathy, adaptability. The problem is not having been hurt. The problem is continuing to live as if you were still that child without resources. True healing of the past happens when you understand that today, you are no longer that helpless child. When you shift your perspective, the transformation accelerates. Pain stops being your identity and becomes experience. And that is emotional liberation. You begin to access your inner light more clearly, strengthening your inner security. In the next step, we'll use positive affirmations to consolidate this new narrative within you. Now that you understand your wounds with more awareness, it's time to start reprogramming your internal narrative. Positive affirmations are not magic phrases tossed into the wind. They are tools for self-knowledge and self-validation. Each time you repeat an affirmation with presence, you weaken limiting beliefs formed long ago, often during moments of emotional pain. Perhaps at first your mind questions, "But I don't feel this yet." And that's okay. The healing process doesn't require you to believe 100% immediately. It asks for consistency. When you affirm, "My past does not define my present," or "I am in a process of healing," you are planting new internal references. It's like training an emotional muscle that has been dormant for years. The key here is to involve emotion and body awareness. Don't repeat on autopilot. Feel the words reverberating in your chest, your breath, your posture. Let each phrase be a small renewal of energy. Take a deep breath and visualize energetic renewal taking place. Self-love is the foundation of any emotional healing process. And here, I'm not talking about pretty phrases on social media. I'm talking about a daily decision to treat yourself with respect, to practice self-acceptance even on days when you don't feel your best. Loving yourself is easy when everything flows. The challenge is maintaining it when insecurity arises. Many childhood wounds stemmed from lack of validation. Perhaps you learned you had to please to be loved, to perform to deserve recognition. Self-validation affirmations break this pattern. When you say, "I am enough," or "My worth does not depend on external approval," you begin rebuilding your inner security from the inside out. Here's something practical. Repeat these affirmations while looking into your own eyes in a mirror. It may feel strange at first. You might even laugh nervously. But this activates a deep level of body awareness and presence. It's a practice of intimacy with yourself. In the next step, we'll release limiting beliefs that may still be holding you to the past. Now we enter a very powerful stage, emotional liberation. It's not enough to build new beliefs. You also need to release those that no longer serve you. Many limiting beliefs were born in moments of emotional pain, as defense mechanisms. I am not enough. If I trust, I'll get hurt. I must handle everything. These phrases became internal truths, but they can be reframed. Release affirmations act as an internal cleanse. When you declare, I release patterns of invalidation, or I allow myself to live without the weight of trauma, you weaken invisible chains. This is not denying what happened. It is choosing not to carry suffering as identity. It's a conscious choice in your transformation process. It's important to feel this liberation in the body as well. As you repeat these phrases, imagine you are letting go of a weight from your shoulders. Breathe deeply and visualize this energetic renewal taking place. It may feel symbolic, and it is, but the brain responds powerfully to symbols. And now, in this final step, we'll gently close this cycle and bring you back to the present moment with lightness and intention. Now it's time to return. But this isn't just any return. It's returning differently than when you arrived. Start by noticing your breath, feeling the air enter and leave naturally. Bring attention to your body, your feet, your hands, your face. You may feel a new lightness, or perhaps just a little more calm. And this is already part of the transformation process. Move your shoulders, neck, and fingers slowly. Allow yourself to smile, even a small smile. This simple gesture communicates to your brain that you are safe. Inner security doesn't come from big events, but from small, consistent reinforcements. Every practice like this is a concrete step in your emotional healing and strengthening of self-love. Before finishing, make a silent commitment. Repeat this guided meditation, practice your positive affirmations, and keep conscious breathing as your ally in daily life. Inner growth is built through repetition. Each time you choose presence, you choose to heal emotions instead of suppressing them. If this practice resonated with you, I want to ask you a few important questions. What did you discover today about yourself? Which limiting beliefs began to lose their hold? And most importantly, are you willing to continue this process of healing the past with consistency and compassion? Remember, resilience is not never falling. It's knowing how to rise with more awareness each time. Emotional liberation happens when you decide not to define yourself by pain, but by learning. Your inner light doesn't need to be created, it just needs to be accessed. Keep practicing, keep breathing, keep choosing self-awareness. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue deepening your transformation process. Share this video with someone who may need to strengthen their inner security. And tell me in the comments, which affirmation touched you the most today?